All right, now that I've finished under the car, I can finally get around to the moment that you and I have both been waiting for, unpacking this box. So I got this a while back now, so I bought this in the sales over Christmas, imported from GAZ. These are my coilovers, well, front coilovers, rear adjustable shocks, and they've just patiently been chilling here in the corner, waiting for the day I can put the car back on the ground. Oh, there's one. So as you guys probably know, the rear end of this car is torsion bar. So I've got the torsion bars over there, but I've got to roll it outside to get the torsion bars in because the bar is that long and it has to come all the way out, and I just don't really have the room. I've done a video on adjusting torsion bars before. This axle's already been dropped. It's already at the right height, so I just basically need to slide the old bars out, slide the new ones in. Got ahead of you guys, and I've already unboxed one. So I went with the 160mm springs and a helper. I don't know why. I just kind of look cool, I suppose. You can also get a 200mm spring, which the main spring goes all the way up, and then you don't need your helper. It just gives you a bit more range of adjustment. You'll see these are pretty well height set already, and my adjustment's in the middle, so I can go 40 up and 40 down with it if I want to. Whereas if I had a 200mm spring up there, I'd be way down here on my adjusters. I got the Compbrake adjustable top hat, so these are caster and camber adjustable. Not 100% sure that I'm actually allowed to run these, so we will see. I'm pretty sure I am, but I'm not 100%. Big valve, nice and easy to get under and adjust. Sway bar mounts. Yeah, beautiful. Pillow ball top mounts, because these actually steer with the car, so they steer nice and free. GAZ have worked with 206s a lot. There was a 206 Cup in the UK, which I think GAZ were the spec for. So I trusted them to just set it up the way I wanted. I basically told them the weight of the car, what I was using it for, how much power I was expecting, and they spec'd the valving, the spring rate and everything. They actually suggested a slightly lighter spring. This is a 450, which would be about a 10k spring. I think I've had an 8 on the BCs, which was too soft. I had way too much body roll. I think I had a 12 or a 13 on the XYZs, which felt good, but they reckon that it was probably a bit too stiff. So that's what they've suggested. So that's what I'm going to put in. All right, these these bolts took some finding. Well, actually, I didn't even find them. I had to go and rob them off a spare axle. So I've got these set at the midpoint, and yeah. So I want to put that in so I can get to it. Do I want it on the bottom or do I want it on the top? Probably on the bottom, I would say. There's two different bolts for whatever reason. So bottom bolt is that one. Work out some sort of torque spec for these. A lot of people don't really understand torque specifications either. They think they're like vehicle specific, but they're actually bolt specific for things like this. So this grade of bolt in this size has a torque setting. So instead of looking up Peugeot 206 damper bolt, just go M14 by whatever, grade 8 bolt, torque spec, and that's what you want. If there's a torquing sequence, that can be manufacturer specific. Now, that is very, very, very close to that, but that end doesn't move very much, so I'm not unhappy at it. One down. Let's move over the other side. I'm not gonna, these have already got a bit of anti-seize on them. So I'll torque them, and I'm not gonna put any thread locker on them because things like this get removed quite often. And I take the wheels on and off all the time, so these sort of bolts here can be visually inspected constantly. Just realized these bushes are actually offset, and which would mean that there's a specific way in which they go to pull the shock away, damper away from that nubbin. So I didn't even think about that. I actually got them the right way around. Normally it's spaces that you put on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should always film like this and leave all the grunts and groans and boring parts in, just not edit any of it out, just full live stream style. What do you reckon? Does that sound fucking great or what? Good way to lose the 10 subscribers that I already have. All right, I'm gonna torque them down and mark them, put the wheels back on, and then we'll move on to the front. All right, now, as I mentioned, I've sold the tie rod end off of here. So this one kind of flops around a little bit. Brake caliper is also on the floor. So, caliper, disc, brake disc is on the floor. So, let me get some more tools because I need a, I think it's a big Torx. So this ball joint was good. Obviously just the little retaining spring and the rubber has come off. I hope I haven't damaged that. I guess it's from trying to pry on it because I did have factory springs in and out of here a few times. Now the factory springs, to get them out, they don't fit down here. You run out of play in this before the spring comes out. You can get a crowbar in here and really just yank on these and you can get them out. I've done it that way before. The other option is you can take these bolts out of here and slide the whole knuckle and everything off, which is quite difficult. The other option is to undo the ball joint, lift this up, move it over here and drop it down, and also undo the tie rod end. And I think that's what I've done. I don't know what's going on out there. So let's see if I've damaged that ball joint at all. Okay. That's not a huge deal because this car's not going to be doing 100,000 kilometers on this ball joint. So the only problem with there being a hole in that is that obviously dirt can get into the ball joint and grease can get out. But all it does is shorten the lifespan of the ball joint. Now, the ball joints on these are basically come with the arm. They're not a replaceable wear item. You can get a ball joint that goes in there and replace them if you want. Alright, one pinch bolt procured. Now I'm going to recycle the lock nut. Don't do that. I'll replace these when I rebuild these calipers. Tight. Need to come up a little bit. Got it. All right. Now these aren't marked right or left, so I just grabbed one arbitrarily. Now the sway bar connects over there, so these have got an index tab which drops in there, which is good. My XYZs didn't, and that basically locates your sway bar tab, stops them from being able to spin. So the sway bar, I believe, mounts up behind center from memory. I'll go back through some old footage and work that out. All right, so I was pretty sure, but I just wanted to double check that in fact, yes, the sway bar mount does point behind the axle. So I'll mount this in the top. All right, so as I said, this is a Compbrake top mount. The GAZ struts don't actually come with a top mount. That's an extra piece that you buy, but it comes pre-assembled. Otherwise you can just use a standard top mount if you don't want camber caster adjustment. Okay, so they're all done up finger tight. Now, come on, you bars, get in there. Okay, what I reckon I'm gonna have to do here, I might oil this up a little bit. And then I'll get a jack under here and we'll lift it up with that. I was actually struggling with this one off camera, and I jammed a wedge in the back and spread that open, and it went in. So finished the installation off camera. We'll go around and do the other side now. All right, I was struggling with the other side off camera, and I got it. So I just finished up the assembly over there because I didn't feel like doing another take. Amateurs do 2 takes. I do 1 take. But anyway, that light's in a really bad position, isn't it? It's still no better. Sort of needs to be there, sort of, doesn't it? Whatever. It's good enough for who it's for, and that's me. Now the bottom ball joint bolt is not done up. So let's do that up first. That's not even the right size for it. Alright, so that's that one done up now. That one's also not done up. Yep. We'll torque all of that down in just a second. I think I'm ready to go. Let me get my wedge. Don't lose that. Wedged. Oh look, I found the little bolt that I was missing. Just laying on the ground. I was all ready to order up another one from the UK and wait 6 months for it to come in. Okay, orientation. So that goes that way, which is unfortunate because it means I'm going to have to change all of this around. No, hang on. Strut goes in that way, so it goes either way. I've got to move it around. Yep, that was the paint. Okay. Got those 3 bolts there sort of done up. Get that sort of lined up. Come on, buddy. Why am I not going any further forward here? Okay. Block of wood. All right, make sure that goes in there straight, would you? The other one just slipped in. What's going on with this one? Oh, there it goes. Line the tab up. There we go. Same as the last one, it's not really interested in seating all the way. I don't know if you guys can see that from there, but there's a little tiny gap between the seat. Wrong angle. Look, I'm gonna have to bring you in like that, but anyway. Stupid tripod. So I had a problem with the other side as well. I just had to give it a bit of a tap around and it eventually went in. There goes my wedge. This is where the other side stopped as well. I'll just show you that one. So there's still a tiny gap there now. It's not a huge issue because it can't really go anywhere, but I obviously do want it sitting down nicely, so I'll chuck this wedge back in and open it back up and see what I can do. Oh, there we go. That just dropped in nicely. Beautiful. That's not the bolt for that. Is it the bolt for that? It is the bolt for that. Look at that. Now it's an M10. So M10's about 75 foot-pounds. Sorry, 75 torques. Which is about 50 foot-pounds for Americans. Nice. If I get rid of that extension, I might do a bit better. That felt a bit loose. Let's go 90. Can handle it. Yeah, that feels better. At this point in time, I'm not sure what bolts are going to be staying done up forever and what bolts are going to be undone again in the future. So as I assemble things, I'm just talking and marking all the bolts. That way, if I do want to run the car without doing anything else to it, I just need to go around and any bolt that's got a yellow line on it that still lines up, I don't need to touch. I know that it's done up. I just need to check all the other ones because, you know, as you know, over the past nearly year now, I've had different parts of this car. I've pulled them apart, I've put them back together again several times. So knowing what you've done and what you haven't, what's plugged in, what's not, you know, it gets really confusing. So as I'm doing assembly on things, whether it be final assembly or just assembly, I'm going to make sure that it's, you know, ready to go, because I can always wipe these marks off with a bit of acetone, and if I take it apart again and re-torque the bolts. But, you know, if I do want to hit the track one day and a bolt falls out and I ruin the car, you know, that's a lot worse than having to, you know, re-torque some bolts that I've already torqued once. It's my way of thinking. I'd rather redo something simple a couple of times than not do it at all and ruin a whole day. So, as I've said in the past, my time is worthless. My car is not. And these brake bolts are loose, so I'll do them while I'm here. Where's my adapter? Done. Mark them up. Okay. I need the 16. Tie rod, what's it gonna be? Not a lot, eh? 55 maybe? That was 70, by the way. No, we're good. I've missed the cone on this one, but whatever.